Yeah, it's Johnny Grube from allmantrain.com. I've talked about this before, but I think a lot of guys go out there and they think when they go out there to train, they go to exercise, they're out there to fucking hurt themselves. Most people hurt themselves by either doing too much or lifting too heavy. And, I did all those things too, and it didn't make a lot of sense to me. It doesn't now, but then when I would be in pain or injured, it made life a lot harder. A lot harder. Just to fucking get around. You feel old before your fucking time. And a lot of people still act like that. And I've talked about this before, that now it's like a pissing contest and who's hurt the most and who's trained the hardest. I'm more about toughness, a guy being tough, than actually being one rep strong. I don't know if that makes sense. But when I would train, I would get hurt or I would be sore. I'd still go to work every day. I've heard of a strongman, a guy who actually trains in strongman contests, would complain that he had a cold and he had to go to work. I'm just saying. Now, a lot of guys will look what other people do and try to emulate their workouts, which is stupid. Now, I was thinking about Ronnie Coleman. I think he's 8-time Mr. Olympia. I'm not really sure how many times he won, but I know he's won a fucking shitload. He's crippled up, beat the fuck up. He used to be a cop. You can't tell me that after Ronnie Coleman went to the gym and hit fucking legs heavy as he fucking could, that there's any way he's getting out of the fucking car and chasing down a criminal. I mean, I just don't think it's happening. So I don't know, how long he was actually a policeman for and what he actually did. I'm not saying anything negative that he was a bad cop or anything. I'm just saying I know that when I trained legs heavy, I had a tough time getting around. So if somebody like him fucking training heavy, I don't know how you're going to fucking chase down fucking criminals. But another one is David Goggins. A lot of people love David Goggins. I've read his book, Can't Hurt Me, and I've listened to him. David Goggins, obviously a Navy SEAL, and I think he went and fought forest fires. And the dude is fucking tough. But here's the thing. Who the fucking train like that? Who wants to train that way? His job is to fucking train. You go out there and do his shit, you're going to fucking die. Very few people can have a balanced life and be able to train that way for fucking long. Now, and one thing though, he always talked about in his book how he was always hurt. He was always hurt. I think he had to go through boot camp, and I think he had to go through BUD/S and Navy SEAL to be a Navy SEAL, I think 3 times, because he got fucked up. I read in his book that he stretches for 4 hours a day. Who the fuck can stretch for 4 hours a day? What I'm saying, and I'm not saying it doesn't work for him, obviously it does. The majority of people, you don't have to, you can train and become better than 95 or fucking 98% of the people on the fucking planet and still not fucking kill yourself. Because that's how fucking weak society's become. If you're out there, and I've said this before, if you're out there limping the fuck around, you cannot say that you're effective out there if something happens. You're a fucking wounded fucking animal. If you are sore and you're fucking injured, you are not capable. That's why I no longer train that way. I will not push myself to where, sometimes, not all the time. My job is not to go out there and to fucking push so hard to hurt myself or to where I can't move the fucking next day because I'm fucking sore. I hated it. It didn't make any fucking sense and it didn't do me any fucking good. So that's just what I want to talk about today, man. When you go out there to train, man, train for a fucking reason. But don't go out there to fucking kill yourself or hurt yourself. If you're competing, it's one thing, and you're young, you get your shit done. But as you get older, man, you need to fucking think about as you age. And when you go out there to fucking kill yourself day in and day out. And like I said, if you don't have a fucking real job and you're sitting home behind a computer, I guess that's fine then. It doesn't matter if you can fucking lumber around. It doesn't matter if you can get around or not. You can stay home. You don't have to do any fucking thing. You know, I am a blue collar worker, so I do have to go do things, and I have to make sure I can bend over and squat down to pick shit up. It just gets fucking old. So, you know, pay attention to who you're actually listening to and who you're watching, because most of them fucking training programs that these fucking bodybuilders are, you know, you're not going to be able to fucking do them. No matter what you fucking do, no matter how many fucking steroids you take, no matter what the fuck, you ain't going to be able to do it. You should be more worried about being functional every fucking day outside in the real fucking world, because that's where it's going to fucking count. The gym's not. Nothing happens in the gym. Nothing. Everything happens outside of the fucking gym. Later.